Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to turn the focus back to our children. My husband and I have five. Our oldest is 27, our youngest is 6. And over the years, I've noticed how technology has been increasingly designed to capture their attention. The more time my first grader spends scrolling through an app, the less time she is playing outside or enjoying face-to-face interactions with us. Google and Facebook are not only doing a poor job of keeping our children under 13 off of YouTube and Instagram, as my colleagues have already mentioned today, but you are actively onboarding our children onto your ecosystems with apps like YouTube Kids, Facebook Messenger Kids, and now we're hearing Instagram for Kids. These applications introduce our children to social media far too early and include manipulative design features intended to keep them hooked. Mr. Pichai, when a child finishes a video on YouTube or YouTube Kids, does the next video automatically play by default? And I think this one is a yes or no.
Sorry, I was muted. Congresswoman, I have children too. I worry about the time they spend online, and I agree with you. It's an important issue.
Yes.
We designed YouTube.
The autoplay function by default, that's a yes.
On the main app, it is there, and for each video, there's an easy on-off toggle. Users have preferences.
But the default setting is yes. When a user who is predicted to be a teen is watching a YouTube video, are the number of likes displayed by default? Yes or no, please?
On all videos, I think we do have, across all videos we have.
Great. And Mr. Zuckerberg, will the recently reported Instagram app for kids have endless scroll enabled? Yes or no?
Sorry. Congresswoman, we're not done finalizing what the app is going to be. I think we're actually still pretty early in designing this, but I just want to say that
are you not sure, or you're not sharing features? And look, another feature of concern is the filter that adds an unnatural but perfect glow for my 10-year-old to apply to her face. Is that feature going to be part of Instagram for Kids?
Congresswoman, I don't know. I haven't discussed this with the team yet.
Well, please expect my office and many others to follow up, given what we know about Instagram's impact on teen mental health. We're all very concerned about our younger children. And, I just want to speak mother to father for a moment, fathers, because leading experts all acknowledge that social media sites pose risks to young people. Inappropriate content, oversharing of personal information, cyberbullying, deceptive advertising, the list goes on. And those risks are exacerbated with more time children spend in these apps. And Mr. Pichai, you mentioned that you have children, and that I've also read you limit their screen time. What do you say when one of your children doesn't want to put their phone down?
Congressman, the struggle is the same, particularly through COVID. It's been hard to moderate it, and I do take advantage of the parental controls and the digital well-being tools. We can limit the time on their apps, and so we have provisions in place.
I don't mean to cut you off, Mr. Pichai, but the last thing overworked parents need right now, especially right now, are more complex to-dos, which is what parental controls are. I mean, they need child-centric design by default. Mr. Zuckerberg, I understand your children are younger, but when they start using social media, what will you say when they're craving their tablet over spending time face-to-face with you or with friends?
Well, Congresswoman, we haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're designing all of these tools. We designed Messenger Kids that the parents are in control. I think we've proven that that can be a good and safe experience. And I think that was one of the things that made us think that we should consider doing this for Instagram as well, by having it so that we have a parent-controlled experience, and as you say, child-centric experience for people under the age of 13.
I am going to reclaim my time, only because connecting with others is one thing. Adding filters, no breaks for kids to take, and manipulating the design of these apps for our children is another. Look, this committee is ready to legislate to protect our children from your ambition. What we're having a hard time reconciling is that while you're publicly calling for regulation, which by the way, comes off as incredibly decent and noble, you're plotting your next frontier of growth, which deviously targets our young children, and which you all take great strides with infinitely more resources in protecting your own children. This playbook is familiar. As some of my colleagues have already pointed out, it's the same tactic we saw from alcohol companies and big tobacco. Start them young and bank on them never leaving, or at least never being able to. But these are our children, and their health and well-being deserve to take priority over your profits.
General Lady's time has expired.